Hello and good morning, captains. It's me, TONIK TZW, here in the Tier 5 Tech 3 Pan-Asian cruiser, the Ramat. And as you can see from the splash screen there, this is actually a very good game. It's a new personal best for myself in this ship. But we call this video Swinging Both Ways, because this is a match that was seemingly never guaranteed a victory, and it could have gone one way or the other. One thing that did only go one way in this game is Blue Team, because they did form a little bit of a lemming train. And there's the map at the start. We are on Shatter. It's domination. We've got one destroyer. You know how critical I can be of other people playing destroyers, but I'm also often very critical of myself and point out my own mistakes in my videos, which is something that not a lot of people do. And it's important to learn from your mistakes, because that way you can improve your gameplay. And I was having a think about this while I was making the cup of tea that I've got in my hand at the moment, so I might take a few slurps of that as we play through this game. Um, and the thought was that we've got a 15-minute game, and what I think you should try to do is at the 5 minute and the 10-minute point of each game, have a look at where your team is, have a look at what the points are like, and have a look at where you are and where your team are and think, could I be in a better position? Could I be better placed? Could I be doing more to help my team to victory? Because that is something that I did during this game. I was looking at what was going on around me. You know, I do that often in my destroyers, and I'll reposition and move. And sometimes we've clinched an absolute clutch of a victory from certain defeat by understanding what is going on in the game and where I need to be most effective. Now, we have only got one destroyer in this game. He's out there. He's already getting shot at because he's out detected by the Fubuki. The Helena is absolutely wailing on the Fubuki. And I'm looking around thinking, what can I do here? And I didn't shoot at the destroyer here, which was bad of me. What I was looking at was to try and get some fires started on these battleships and force them into some early damage controls. But we keep losing sight of everything, so we're not perhaps in the best position to be. But what I don't want to do here is to push face first into some battleships that could potentially one-shot me and send me back to port very, very early game. The New Orleans there trying to blind fire my smoke. There's a Queen Elizabeth there as well. I'm going to return fire and do what I can while this smoke screen is active, but it is running out very, very quickly. I'm going to mute my mic a second, sniff, and take a sip of my tea. Bear with me. There we go. I feel a little bit more lubricated now and a little bit clear in the head. We've got Charlie here with me this weekend. I'm going to be making breakfast shortly. Last night we had a lovely dinner of lamb chops, mashed potato, and broccoli, and we made our own banana splits afterwards. So that was a nice little bit of a treat. Sent me into a sugar coma, and I had to have a little bit of a dad nap afterwards. But we're up bright and early on Sunday morning, and we're going to try homemade egg McMuffins this morning for breakfast. So sharing a little bit about the family life on this one. And another thing that I suggested to Charlie that I thought might be fun for him to do is perhaps to get him to record the voiceover for one of my videos so he can talk you through the game and tell you about how good or how bad Dad did. So looking at this point in the game, and realizing that red team, it looks like they've pushed Charlie Cap hard. I've kind of lost faith in our destroyer at this point. He's not pushing sort of down to keep things spotted on the cap. I know it's a French destroyer, doesn't have smoke. He's out detected by the Fubuki, but that Fubuki is out here somewhere, and we have no idea. So I am going to just try and light some fires. I've got a ship right behind me. I don't know what it is. Don't even want to look. But I don't want to be sat beside him when the shells start coming in towards him. We're just putting fire onto that New Mexico while we can. There's a shot coming in from the Queen Elizabeth. We get a fire on the New Mexico. So now we're going to try and set another one, watching for the damage control. New Orleans still tucked in there behind the edge of the island. And the destroyer has dumped his torps and turned round and is coming away. But the Queen Elizabeth, I think, is more than wary of those torpedoes coming in and has turned away. And clicking the minimap here and saying, hey, look, DD, please, have a look at Charlie Cap because we're really getting pushed hard there. He either needs to push onto Bravo or to try and do something about Charlie. Sailing round like this in open water when we can't see the majority of red team is not really the way to win this game, because you'll see that pretty much every ship that is alive on blue team is across on this side of the map. The Lemming train is slowly forming up. We're going to drop some torps on the corner of the island, thinking this guy might turn around and come back. We're getting the fires on and just looking, and I'm pinging the map saying, hey, look, there's something coming out of here. Please go and have a look, because that is where the danger is. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear that anybody's paying attention to the minimap. I did put a comment onto one of the or put a reply onto one of the comments on another video, and I said that yes, I often wonder what is going through some people's heads during these games, apart from the wind, because it really does appear that the majority of players, um, it's herd mentality. They always follow the herd. They have no ability to think for themselves. And you really do have to think for yourself. Even though this is a team game, um, do use your brain. Let those little brain cells spark and understand what is going on. Here, we are looking, we spot the Aoba coming through behind us. Our smoke screen's about to run out. We know we've got a cruiser in front of us. I've just face planted the island, which is not where I want to be. But this Aoba, I'm expecting that he is going to want to turn and try and put his torpedoes onto us, which is exactly what he's doing. We didn't switch to armor piercing until we had a salvo there, because it was only a couple of seconds from reload. We're going to put the shot out there, but the carriers kind of screwed that one up on us by doing a torpedo drop, forcing the Aoba into a turn. Doesn't make it good for our AP. We get one decent salvo on, we're going to get another decent salvo on, and then the Helena is going to swoop in for a kill. That guy, let me tell you, is going to end up with a Kraken in this game. I have watched this back a couple of times, and there's a few very low health ships like that Aoba that do get taken out by the Helena. But he gets second spot. So he's obviously done some work for it. Probably shut down a lot of planes. Probably got some cap resets on things. And has probably had a lot of fires as well. But it's at this point in the game that I realise, having lost our destroyer, the team are all lemming training from where they started in the centre and across on Charlie, down in this direction. We are literally being herded by red team. We do have a one-ship advantage, and I'm trying to stay undetected by this Gneiss now, thinking this smoke screen may cover me, because what I'm looking for, again, is a fire and a damage control, but the destroyer has me spotted. I can see where he is on the minimap, and I'm sure the rest of the team can see him too, and they are going to start running away as fast as they can. I really, really don't like having to burn through a smoke screen like this, but if we can get a fire onto this guys now, force the destroyer to instinctively torpedo a smokescreen that I'm going to leave behind me, then I can push across to Charlie, while the rest of the team, even though the majority of them are there on that flank, they are still not pushing onto the cap. And I'm giving a click on the map again. I know I'm a bit of an armchair admiral, but I'm saying get in on the cap. Stop them earning points for it. It's not working. The guys are more interested in kills than they are in victory. And why that is, I don't know. There's this mentality that big damage, that all the kills is what you need to do to win, and it is not the case. There are, I think, 4 different ways to win domination. You can win by killing all the ships. You can win on points, and you can win by having the most points when the clock runs out. So, sorry, 3 ways off the top of my head there that you can win domination. And at the moment, our team is not doing any of them. I'm here. I'm on Charlie Cap. I'm solo. Look at the minimap. Everybody is on the other side of the map. Everybody has run round. And as I push into here, I can't believe my luck. Now, I was going to call this game just 13, unlucky for some, because I couldn't believe that when I got to the end results, as I'm very, very tightly turning to avoid those torpedoes, that Red Team's carrier had decided to push all the way through, thinking that they had this flank completely secure, that all of our team were on the other side of the map. But I only had 1 citadel to start with, but that is a 5 citadel salvo, and I'm not running the risk of being torpedoed out of the game without killing this guy. So I'm going to stay on the guns until those torpedoes hit and take him out. And that is it. All I've got to do now is shoot down planes, again, of which I'm going to get 13 plane kills. So doubly unlucky for Red Team at this point in the game, in that they have lost their carrier as well as losing Charlie Cap. They are on A Cap. That is going to be, I think is it a battleship? Can't see what it is. Yes, it's the Gneiss now. Yes, he's there on the cap. I imagine the destroyer is there with him, and I want to use the islands to try and stay covered. I think the other ship here is a King George V. There he is. He is pretty much full health. And I'm gonna risk it for a biscuit now, because I was thinking, as I come out of here, I'm going to be spotted. He could be waiting for me as our Helena picks up his Kraken Unleashed, but he is also going to get killed. We see the Fubuki we can't get a shot on. Now, we have 2 caps. We have a 2-ship lead. And you'd think, well, we now have a 1-ship lead, but you'd think at this point, with Red Team having a Fubuki in the game, that yeah, we were winning until such point as the Helena died. Fubuki makes an appearance. I'm going to blind fire. I'm not going to get anything off this. But with 2 caps, we have the lead. We pick up a high caliber. If anything, the things we should be doing now is turning round and running away. But the Helena going out has given Red Team the advantage, but we can still pull this back. This King George V is very, very wiggly, and I'm finding it very difficult to land a shot on him. But I'm just pushing out, trying to get this island between he and I, there we go. We've dropped detection, which means that the destroyer can't spot us. And these guys are pushing in because they're hungry for kills. The battleship at the back is very, very low health. I want to say it's a Tennessee. I'm not quite sure, but we'll find out soon enough because even though we have pulled the lead back, no, there it is. It's the New York. And we had only just pulled into the lead, so it had swung back to blue. It's now swung back to red. There are 30 seconds on the clock, and although I did have a fire on that guy and was about to pick up another kill, we get another hand job for a kill assist from the Duke of York. We've managed to pull it back within 15 seconds of the game ended. And I've been calling for people to get back, and all I'm looking at is that battleship sailing round the corner. And I'm thinking, he's going to sail into a wall of skill from the Fubuki. But thankfully, the clock ticks down, gives us the win on just under 128,000 damage, a high caliber out of it. And I have to say that I did not expect to survive that game. And I certainly didn't expect to come top of the board. And I was very, very happy to see that we were barely a whisker under 3,200 base XP. It's a fair chunk of change above the Helena with his Kraken. And just so you know that I'm not BSing you, there's my stats for this ship, which showed that I have played 5 standard battles. I don't play a lot of cruisers, but my highest battle achievements there were from this game. And it just goes to show that it doesn't matter if you don't play a class of ship or a certain nation of ships, that if you understand some of the basic principles of the game and understand how you can best play for the team and for yourself at the same time, that you can come away with a nice big victory. Take care. Catch us next time.